Hey everybody, it's Kelly and welcome to day 14. So this was day 13, so it's on the left side of the page. So I can do anything I want on the right side of the page, which is my day 14. Today I wrapped presents, and I'm actually creating this on the same day as I made it, which I really love to do because it gives me more time for uploading. But since I wrapped, I have two things that I always want to do, which is I have a Christmas list here, and I keep this on my tablet, and just as I have ideas, I write them down, and then as I buy things, I check the person off and write down what it is. And I realized I didn't put the total for the year here, but that's fine, whatever. The other thing I like to do is I like to also take a photo of the presents at the end when I'm done wrapping, so I did that. My main paper that I used this year was this candy cane paper. I had a little bit of a leftover here for some people who have gifts that aren't part of my family, so I didn't coordinate it all, and who cares whether you coordinate it, but anyway, so it's this candy cane paper. And I always save a piece of my paper, like I just use one of the offcuts. So I've got my paper here. And then last but not least, before I started, I took this photo of my bows that I was going to use and posted this to Instagram and said, you know, time for some wrapping, or, you know, something cute like that. So I'm thinking I might like to use this as well. I'm not sure. And then last but not least, I have all of my receipts from my shopping. So if you don't do this, it's a good way to keep your receipts in case you need to return a gift for somebody. Like I have grandkids, so I do include gift receipts, but in case I need to do it, I have the original receipt. Plus, it's just kind of a memory, and sometimes, like when I go to Walmart, it's a heck of a lot more than just what I bought. So that's kind of fun as well too. So I have all of those things. Now, I have included an envelope the last, definitely couple of years. And I've used these Pebbles striped envelopes, which I think are cute. They're cute with this stripe as well, although it might be too much depending on what I decide to do with this paper. So I did grab these bags from the Dollar Spot a while ago, and it has this red polka dot. So I'm going to grab that bag because I think that might be a cute way to save this year's receipts. I also think that red is a really nice match. This red is fine too, but now that I look at it, that's very busy. So I'm kind of thinking how that's going to go. Now, if the receipts are going in this bag, I know I have this bag to work with, but I also need a place to put at least this photograph and this card. So that leads me to a photo sleeve. I don't know if you guys can pick this up, but it's 1 4x6 and 2 3x4s. So I'm thinking that I can do a place for my photo, and then another place for this piece right here for sure. I would have room for journaling if I wanted to do that, or really, I don't really need to journal. It is what it is, right? Or as I'm thinking about this, I could somehow maybe work this onto this piece. Now, I do have some green in here. There is green in the page across, so I'm going to think about that. And as I usually do, I like to leave my page from the day before close, and I'll leave that there so you guys can basically see most of it, so I can figure out what I'm going to do there. Now I'm going to take these receipts and I'm just going to put them to the side. We'll figure that out later. As I was talking to you, and actually before that even, I thought about this. Obviously it doesn't fill up a 4x6, so I did cut a piece of white cardstock here to put this on. I could also do just one of the cards that I've been using, but what I'm thinking I might like to do is just put my wrapping paper on that. Just mount it to it and then cut it. So I'm thinking this is a pretty densely populated area of the candy canes. Over here where I was, it's not as dense. So let me just pop a little bit of ATG on here and make sure that that's covered. And then I'll just cover this here. And then I'm going to do a quick sort of just general cut here. And I did not do that well, but anyway, it worked. And then I'm thinking I'm going to actually, just this paper, this wrapping paper is definitely not Hallmark quality wrapping paper. I don't remember where I bought it because I actually bought it at the end of the year last year. So I think I bought it on the 26th last year. And it's just not great wrapping paper. So, okay. So I think that's good now. Just going to come in here and trim this. And I think this will make a nice background. I like to use my wrapping paper every year as part of the layout. Now you can just take this and tuck a piece in somewhere. Like I could tuck the wrapping paper right into that envelope and be done. And I think I have done that. But I like to make it part of my layout. Okay, so I have that done. And as I'm thinking about this, you know, I think I have a candy cane stripe vellum. I think I tried to use it the other day and didn't. I'm going to look and see if I can find that offcut. And there it is. So maybe, since this is all candy cane-like, maybe I can incorporate that somewhere into my design. Maybe that extra pocket. And now that I think about it, that might be cool with the number on it. And maybe I can get green in there somehow. But we'll see how this all works out, guys. Okay, so there's that done. I like the way that looks. Now here's my sort of plan for that. And I really like how that looks kind of in the middle of that 4x6 card right there. So since I know that, sorry about that, guys. That was loud. I'm going to put that down. And I just turned it there because it just worked. Okay, I do know as well, and I'm going to grab these so I don't forget, I have both, this is a Pebbles collection from a couple years ago that I bought last year, but there's some peppermints here, but there's also candy canes as well, but there's some holly too. So let's put that to the side here because that might be something I want to use. Here's my 3x4 piece, and I'm thinking, what do we think about this? Is that too busy or does it look okay? You know what, guys? I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to cut that down to a 3x4. And as I'm thinking, I know I have some green letter stickers. So hang on a second. I just didn't cut that very well. Okay. And I like this because I haven't had a lot of like see-through elements in this book. But I'm thinking if I put this in and I use this Mary, Alphabet was very, very old from Dear Lizzie. I'm hoping that I have enough to do a day 14 in here. I've got a 4. I don't have a 1 though. Okay. Oh, I do have a 1. Okay. So look at how great that looks. So this is going to just go in the pocket. You'll see the 14 in the day behind, but I'm okay with that. I'm not so worried about that. And then we're just, these are foam. So they're easy. And here's the 4. And I like how that brings in an element of green. Yeah, that looks great. And I really like this photo just as it is. Not quite sure how much embellishing I'm going to do on this. There's a lot on that photo, so I think we're just going to leave that as it is right now. Now, I have a bag here. So how am I getting this in my book? Well, I'm going to have to do it so that it, I punch it. So let me kind of take a look here. If I make it a little more even with the bottom, it's almost at the top. So I'm going to push this down a little bit. And that will give me an idea of about like how much it's going to be in the binder. And I'm grabbing my crocodile. Actually, I need my larger hole punch. I'm thinking that this definitely is the perfect place to mount that photo of the ribbons on. I have more of a story to go with this that involves my cats. But really, guys, if you wanted to, you could just mount that there and not worry about embellishing it, and you'd be good to go. But of course, I'm going to do something more than that. It's a weekend, so I have time to scrapbook, and it's not like some of the other days where I don't have as much time. So I'm going to put that there. And this is kind of crazy together, but I'm okay with that. This will lay over this like this. And that's good. Okay, so I'm thinking I know, oh, and look at these little green elves. That would be kind of cute to add some green to this side of the page. So would the holly, but I think the elves would be fun. So I have doilies, and I put some of them in my kit. Now I need to find them. I'm also looking at, do I have anything green that would work? No. I looked at some other things that I had that I could have maybe used, but they were not working at all. And I know I put doilies in my kit, guys. That's what happens sometimes when you have too much in your kit, right? At least I thought I did anyway. And I hope you can still hear me. All right, so I know I have doilies. I'm just going to go grab them. They're right to my hand here. I just have to get the ones that are large enough. Okay, so I have these that I could use. Those are not the ones I was thinking of, though. Okay, sorry, guys. Okay, I've got those. I think that would... I'm pretty sure we don't need yellow and blue, huh? Oh, here they are. Grab some Wilton doilies. These are looking a little gray compared to that, so those are going back. And maybe, I was thinking these Wilton ones to begin with, but maybe I can find one in this pack, which is an old Martha Stewart pack. That's okay. And these have a slight shimmer to them, would be the best way to describe them. So this photo is a 3x3. And I definitely don't like that where it's like only partially the photo. So this one's okay. Let's look at this. I actually really like the Wilton one better. I think it's just more, it's more simple, and it's like all the same. There's not a lot of open space in it. And sorry, I keep crashing my ETG here. Okay. And I just like the way that looks. So I think this will be really good on the envelope here, or the bag, I should say. And I'm just going to center it. Okay, so that's the page so far. Now the question is, do we do elves? And I kind of like the idea of the elves because, you know, if I had my druthers, I'd have little elves doing this instead. And I like these two guys right here. So they bring in kind of, there's a really acidy green from the wrapping there. And one of the elves is holding a candy cane. So I thought I was going to use these for candy canes, but I like the way they look. Definitely. Now the question is, do I want to put one on this or just leave it as it is? This guy has a candy cane too. I'm going to grab my trusty, because my idea or my thought is to just leave it as it is, but I think I like that little spot of green, and now that I did it, it's stuck to the photo, so it's done. Okay, so this is from the Pebbles, and it's this year's Christmas collection, which is called Cozy and Bright. I have to write that down on this, but that's what that is. Okay. All right, guys, I think I really like that. That's a bad habit. I shouldn't be calling you guys because lots of you are women. And then what I'm going to do is just tuck all my receipts in here, and I'm going to leave them like that, like sticking out, and I like the idea of that. Probably need to move them a little bit when I do the book, but you know, I like the idea of like the names kind of showing, and I think I'm going to tuck this one in behind because that one shows, and then there's a little extra thing that they put on one of them, and that kind of sticks out, so it gives that a little bit of personality. All right, you guys, somewhere on here I should probably date this because I didn't, although I mean it's obvious that it is 12/14. Maybe I'll just write it down here really quickly in some pen, but I think that's done. I love the way this turned out. I've got my wrapping included, I've got the receipts included, day 14 in the books. Hope you guys are all well. For those of you who are doing December daily, you're getting close to being halfway done, so awesome, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.